PulseChain is pumping. It's going to keep pumping, baby dolls. We have seen today and recently, in the past just 2 days, Ethereum has started to rise. The morning glory, it went as low as below 1,400, and now it popped up as much as almost 2,500. We've got quite a while to go now. Remember, Bitcoin specifically, and probably some Ethereum, they front run the implied price of business ISM. Okay, so the business cycle, remember, it's always last month's survey because they take a month to collect. So when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, now that they're starting to rise, the business ISM is going to start to tick up as we go on. So we're basically, yes, good times are coming ahead. Isn't that great? But today's big video is all about PulseChain. Okay, that's what I've titled this video. That's what you're going to get. A PulseChain ecosystem. I'll just have a refresh here as you've seen it today, man. PulseChain, around 10% for the cause. pHEX, 27%. eHEX, 20%. pDAI, that is not a typo, my friends, 77% in a day. What is going on? The People's Bitcoin, the one that Roca Negra doesn't own and can't dump, the one that Michael Saylor doesn't own and can't dump, is also up 48%. Dick with butt, which is a secret core coin of Richard. As a joke, friends, as a joke. I'll just tell you. With these, I'm pretty confident Richard owns these. Dick with butt, just it's special because Richard uses that to troll Elon Musk a few years ago. So he likes dick butt. It's also the oldest meme. It's as old as Bitcoin, which is funny. Now, let's crack on the PulseChain, what I'm going to show you now. So PulseChain ecosystem doing very, very well across the board. The spears, it's all about PLS, friends. So whenever you check any prices, just look at PLS. You want to see just PLS moving up because everything's bonded to PLS Pulse. Everything. Okay, that's why there's a lifeblood of everything, right? And then that's a derivative, you know, expansion of Ethereum if you want. And then Ethereum is the derivative expansion, I guess, of the Racist Russell 2000, which is small cap US market coins. And they call it their own thing, which is also expansion of the business cycle, yada, yada. We're all part of the same thing, okay? We are just risk assets, yeah? This is PulseChain PLS, still stuck in that monthly wedge out here. If we go down into a bit of the naughty timeframes, I'm liking how this looks. It's like it's ready to rip. Ready to go through and pretty much just crack these levels, and then we can come back here. Up here, though, this is corrupt interpol around there. So if PulseChain gets about 70% of SAC price, that is corrupt interpol damage reversal. At SAC price was actually, funny enough, the Gary Gensler attack on Richard Hart. So getting back to SAC price will be very psychologically, I guess, important, that level out here. But even if I go down in a weekly, you can see these. Remember, friends, these are very, very nice candles. When you get this red candle in crypto and the next candle is immediately just a bullish engulfing, it's really time to go. As you've seen, friends, Bitcoin hitting 103K, might get a bit of a pop-up as well. Then we finish off the month of March where everyone's skitzing around. Remember, PulseChain and PulseX, very similar as well. This is the PulseX chart. Same thing. It's also ready to rip. PulseX, friends, it is literally the secret weapon of PulseChain. Okay, I've made a whole video about it, and I'll show it to you. And very special, I even gave it a kissy emoji at the start, right here. See this kissy emoji? See that? That's a kissy noise. PulseX is the powerful secret weapon called non-productive. Who's this guy? But Bitcoin has a story, has an aura. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. You didn't take one, mate. You took the whole bottle. Look at this guy. You haven't slept in 4 days. You don't even know your name anymore. So PulseX really is a secret weapon of the whole chain, friends. PulseX. Okay, friends, you got to understand this. Okay, everyone knows. Oh, buy and burn. No, you don't. You know nothing. Shut up. Also, don't shut up. I don't like people shutting up. Okay, listen. PulseX, we have an advantage. Richard Hart, special things about him. Okay, he doesn't just have a history of living above sandwich shops. Okay, he owns all the coins. He founded all the coins. Big advantage. PulseX is symbiotic to Pulse PLS and Hex and the greenest logo in crypto. Okay, we don't get this in any other crypto chain. None. Do you get it? Hope you're getting it. Now, because PulseX has a buy and burn, the baseline economic activity, which is just literally, it's trading back and forth and speculating in crypto, Okay, that's most of the activity. Okay, most of the activity. Because that gets taxed, that economic activity buys and burns PulseX, which is bonded to everything else. Yeah, it's forcefully bonded. On the PulseX farms, it's all set up that way. You don't get this in Uniswap, Ethereum. You don't get this in any other chain. You do not get this symbiotic relationship, which is literally all of the dots connected. Why? Because pretty much they're all built on the fly. They're like, oh, you're a nerd, you go do this. You're another nerd, you go do that. Okay, that's why it is like, it's risky because, you know, if Richard just wanted to walk away or if the SEC thing went the other way, right? It's really risky. Yeah. However, it's really rewardy as well. We are now witnessing that part right here. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm actually going to interrupt this with a pegging of the nipples ritual, which we'll need. Ha! Okay, because PulseX is bonded to Pulse, right? So when the buy and burn is ticking it up over time, everything bonded to Pulse is also going up, friends. Everything, including that stupid pDAI, which I'll get to shortly. Okay, now this guy, you're going to need some rest, buddy. You need some sleep. Okay, you're just slurring your words. Now, PulseX has literally overnight hit 7.10% buy and burn. It's ratcheting up. Okay, it's literally making it more deflationary and scarce. Okay. Now, this is the most important part, friends. Remember, I'm just giving you the juice. You got to watch that video. Okay. PulseX, real utility. Yeah. We literally have. So, what do we call real? Okay. Well, let's talk about real. Well, in crypto, everything's based off roadmaps. They go, oh, in the future, people are going to do this. People are going to sit on this squeaky chair. People are going to come and they're going to buy and they're going to swap. We say all those things. It's all fugazi until it actually happens. Okay. Real economic activity is the stuff happening right now. It's actually real DeFi. You have your Aave borrowing and lending. You have Uniswap transactions and stuff like here. Okay, cool. Well, what Richard's done, okay, by founding PulseX is the baseline economic activity, and you can actually see this if you go to Deck Screener, friends, and you click on PulseChain on the left-hand side. If you go to the volume up here, see it's doing $27 million of trading volume a day. That's real stuff. Okay, I know it doesn't look real. You're like, oh, somebody's switching a teddy bear for an alien coin, and there's a green logo circle here for another green logo, and there's a p-hex thing, and there's a pDAI, and there's something called the Beast, and there's a golden ticket. And then here we have a Sparta. You know, that was a good movie. What's that? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just swapping around, but just forget trying to put your like morals and judgment on these. It's just literally people speculating stuff around. Okay, when the business cycle goes up, we feel like we want to take on more risk anyway. So don't worry about trying to like solve the whole speculation part. Okay, it's going to happen whether people like it or not. Now, that baseline economic activity is taxed. That's the PulseX buy and burn. Okay, that's friends. It's extremely important. It's literally the lifeblood of crypto, and we have access to these rails. That's literally it's benefiting everybody holding the token, which is bonded to everything else. So it's not like, oh, in the future, people are going to use my privacy solution. Oh, in the future, people are going to use my privacy chain. Oh, in the future, people are going to use my layer 2 chain to vote on stuff and do these things. No, these are all roadmap like theoreticals. Okay, no, this is actually happening right now. It's actually real utility, okay? It's as close to when, let's say you go to a bank, you want to borrow $1 million because let's say you're a mechanic, you want to go buy another warehouse, set up another, capital equipment stuff out here, hire workers and expand somewhere into like maybe another local city or something. That's real economic activity doing that. Yeah. In crypto, we don't have much of real economic activity, but owning the casino, crypto is so much of a casino. This PulseX stuff really is, okay? And that's why it's super important. So that's going on underneath the hood of PulseX. So when you just see a chart, friends, you just say, oh, it's doing a W. I don't just see that chart. What I see is everything I've told you. All right. You can also look at the PulseX to Pulse ratio. I will not be surprised if this literally goes to a ratio of 2.0. Okay, literally 2.0. Like, what's the limit on this? I mean, the thing's purely deflationary. It's just got an infinite buy and burn. You're just limited to how much the buy and burn ratchets up over time. By the way, this hockey stick is literally, it ain't stopping, friends. It's got Richard Hart's signature all over again. So PulseX should outperform Pulse from here. Should, but you don't know how much, right? Remember, Pulse is the heaviest of all. But Pulse, why is it heavy? It bonds to everything, okay? So, and by the way, like every single person, doesn't matter what meme coin stuff you are, you're always going to want to have the native token, right? pHex as well is much lighter than PLS. and you can look at p-hex to the pulse ratio, which give you an indicator of what's going on. It did flip red, friends, but don't worry about these numbers because both p-hex and pulse are so redonkulously cheap. Let me spin the helicopter hat. It honestly doesn't even really matter, dude. I own both. I own like of them. I got Icosa. Just they're all good. It's all gonna crank, right? It literally is all gonna crank. It did flip red on the weekly super chain. You might just find it. Friends, this ratio. It's not a real ratio. You got nothing to worry about with these. Look how tight this range is. This is nothing, dude. This is nothing. You're going from 100 to 300 and back down like this. The range is so tight. They're so closely linked. Like they're not even cousins. It's like brothers and sisters, right? Don't put them in the same room together. Did you click on page 5 of Pornhub? No, you didn't. It's a family friendly show. You don't have to worry about any of these, okay? It's spiritually bonded, financially bonded, and everything out here. But just showing you all of these are working together symbiotically. You also have EHEX, which was the ugly stepchild. Looks like a big rounded off bottom as well. Interesting, the EHEX to PX ratio. Look at that, 0.33, otherwise known as 3 to 1, and people calculate. I wonder if it gets to parity over the time. But a lot of people, friends, that were just like, there used to be 10,000 people, right? 9,900 leave because the candles are going down. No one wants to look at their candle. There's like 100 people left, and just everyone just starts clubbing each other top of the head because like, oh, you have more ink than Pulse. That's stupid. And someone's like, oh, you like the stable coin that is on its way to $1. That's stupid. You know, everyone just like says something about their coins. Oh, the EHEX and the PX. The voices are gonna get drowned out just when everything goes up. Ink as well. Remember, friends, ink. No more inflation of it yet. Ink is really low here. What do look, if I was to guess, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I wonder if ink goes up high enough and then the yield gets activated. So the real game begins, which is pretty much Richard Hart opening up the chain. It's like just grabbing all the liquidity from around the world. Remember, friends, there's $230 billion of stablecoins in crypto. About 110 is on Ethereum. Half of it. Tether, friends, Tether have a poop load as well, okay? Tether have 149 billion all over crypto of stablecoins, Tether. Now, I don't know how much of it is undeployed, but you got to think about that, man. Like, that's a lot of money that could bridge into the chain if the right amount of incentive token was yielding them a farm on PulseX, which we're waiting for. We don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how the game plays out. As Pulse pumps, friends, and Hex price pumps. This is the Icosa to Hex ratio, just showing you like really cheap. Actually hasn't gone anywhere since like July 2023. Alex Magic Beard is come back. Remember, we did the updates like a year and a half ago. There's going to be Icosa Hedron version 2. So, friends, this is like thin as hell. Like, it'll be just so easy for this to go like that. Look how fast it went up here. So, remember, it's also derived from a value of a T-share, but because Hex itself is down like 98%, 97% now total, it's kind of nice. I don't get to say 99% down anymore. It's like 97%. Because it's down that much, everything like that relies on it being alive is like super dead. You know, so once that starts cranking up, maybe you see P-Hex towards 10 cents or something, everything else comes back alive. And that'll be come back alive with a vengeance. This is the Pulse to ETH ratio, still going nowhere. Friends, the real PulseChain move begins when you see that, okay? Just like what we saw when Richard Hart said, I'm going to fight the SEC. It's kind of sad. We're actually lower, bro. He said he's going to fight the SEC. We pumped. Now we actually beat the SEC and we're lower against Ethereum, which, yeah, it does suck, friends. Down 65%. But yeah, that'll be the big move, the real move. And yes, there is no glory until we get back to break even for the Pulse-ETH sacrifice ratio. Then we can talk. We've got a long way to go, by the way. Now, all the other altcoins on the chain, most of them doing okay. Like, I remember I made videos about you before, like it was HOA and stuff. Let's look at the HOA pulse ratio. There's heaps of others, friends. Just that this one was just one of the first ones up coming up. I swear, it's Pokemon, Pika, just having, it's all this, friends, it's all, like if Pulse is going up, they're all going to crank. They're all going to crank. Literally, they all have to crank pretty much. Like we're here. You're in the telegrams, you see people. Okay, now here's the thing. I've got to use this word. Oh, do you trust them? You don't really know, but like, hey, if you've demonstrated these people are staying around in the bears, like me, for example, I like my stuff, but I didn't go change my mind. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I didn't go do that. Right? That's what you and I watch LA Vape Cabal scum do. Yeah, they like one coin one day, they don't like it the next day. Why don't you like it? Oh, price is going down. Oh, you're a fraud. You're a fraud. Why does the price going down within the next 30 to 60 days change your fundamental feelings of something? Yeah, that's like saying, oh, that person's my best friend. Oh, but they were 30 minutes late to come pick me up because we're going to go play with our Game Boys at the library together. Oh, I don't like him anymore. I don't like her anymore. You see what I mean? See how like childish and scummy that is? Well, if you're rinsing an entire audience, that's very advantageous for you, isn't it? You know, it's like, oh, I don't, that's how they talk, friends. But you know what? Like I said, there's a lot of people who want to sit in that hotel cuck chair. All the power to them, okay? I'll tell you one thing. You're not allowed to date my daughter. That's it. You want to sit in the hotel cuck chair? That's the life you choose. Got to remind you as well, PulseChain friends, imagine how powerful it will be when CEXs list PulseChain. Everything's bonded. The volume will ratchet and buy and burn. It's getting closer and closer, friends. We're seeing a lot of rumors. Kraken, Coinbase. Because, look, I know I'm the peg nipple guy, okay? I know. Here's the thing, Kraken and Coinbase. You guys list XRP, bro. XRP literally admitted to the SEC they have been deceiving investors and they're a security and they are paying the SEC $50 million. They literally forfeited $50 million. And by the way, they call it a win. Do you want to know why? Because the SEC asked for $100 million. So Ripple is settling for $50 million. Now you might be saying, so, Sommi, why would they settle for $50 million? Well, Habibi Albi, it's because they have dumped $2 billion on XRP investors since 12 years ago. That's right. They have about 1.1 to 1.4 billion on cash, just on cash. The rest have just been dumping, paying executives and salaries for the past 12 years. Okay. Actually, I don't even know the real number. It might even be higher. Who knows? Okay. So, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, CZ, my friend. Fair's fair, man. I'm not saying delist XRP. Okay. But if you're going to list guys who are literally printing their own currency to go donate to Kamala Krampus and then shit in the mouths of everybody in crypto industry, which she was going to do without wiping or saying thank you after. If you're going to do that, remember, that was literally the reason why Satoshi invented Bitcoin, by the way, so we don't print useless fiat and then go get political biddings done for us. Okay, if you're going to do that, at least give us a fair time, bro. At least list PulseChain, so your customers can at least buy something cheap, because you're literally going to have 10,000 rabid dogs like me who are going to be reminding everyone, hey, thanks Coinbase for letting your customers get in early to something that's not going to rug pull and going to pump. Speaking of pumping, have you seen the magic of what's happening today? POV, you bought the right stablecoin. So pDAI friends going on a nuclear run today. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. It's part of the chain. Warning, nipples remain pegged. By the way, whoever did this, so you made this sticker within literally like 30 minutes of me releasing that video, which is just a juicy news, by the way. Check it out. Interesting, 77%. By the way, I was refreshing. I've got that PTSD where the number's green because you guys keep dumping on freaking any good news in PulseChain. So I've got that, you know, like if something's up like 18%, I've got that PTSD where if you press refresh, you see it down to like 9% and you're like, oh, they're fading it again. I'm going to go to the kitchen. That's what I'm so used to. But this one just kept going up and up and up. That was happening. Look at it. I said, look at it. And respect the beauty. Look how brave and powerful she is. Look at her. You remember this video, friends? It's kind of a twisted video. In here is her dead husband's ashes. And yes, that is a phallic. That is a phallic object that you insert into your velvet curtains, as Shakespeare calls it. By the way, that's actually true. That's the only thing I remember from English at school. He called the lady part the velvet curtain. Velvet purse. That's literally, friends, that's the only thing I remember of Shakespeare. He called it a velvet purse. You know? In Australia, we call it... Actually, call it many words. Okay, it's a family-friendly show. Look at her! She deserves to be loved too. Beautiful. And by it, I mean the candle. Okay? She's beautiful too. All right. This is waiting. PulseChain DAI is a community takeover of the estrogen DAI on Ethereum. That's right, I said it. That's right, MakerDAO, otherwise known as Skynet. USDS. S for soy. That's a nice blacklist function you have in your code right there. Did you think nobody would notice? Huh? Very convenient for you to put a button where you can literally turn off everybody's wealth in a heartbeat. Boop, one button press. Very convenient of you. Very cryptocurrency cypherpunkish of you. Very freedom and liberty of you. Thank you for giving ultimate power to somebody who doesn't like what you ate for breakfast or you voted for the wrong team. I don't like anybody who played Alliance in World of Warcraft either. But I don't want to like ban them and make them poor. I was a Horde guy. pDAI is exactly what every crypto stablecoin should be. 1, risky. 2, pumps hard. 3, no blacklist function. And number 4 is a cult. It's actually a cult within a cult. That's the fun part. That's funny. Now, friends, there are a lot of ratios in our Chopa ecosystem that I could go through, but remember, they all said the same thing. They all said overwhelmingly, pDAI is oversold by a lot, an extreme amount. pDAI is cheap to everything. Okay, all the ratios said that. Bear pDAI, a Chopa pDAI, everything paired with pDAI, all the charts spiked up. They go, pDAI is too cheap. Okay. However, why is it cheap? Because you know, oh, there's no infinite minting anymore. The infinite minting's gone. The Vietnamese kid's gone. Okay, there's no more infinite minting. The supply stopped here. Okay, that means this thing is expensive. But you still get a bit of that heart attack risk because you're like, oh, what if the big supply control holders do something? Yeah, but let me remind you of something. Did you know, friends, everyone thinks they're a genius. When Hex first came out, nobody had ever seen something like an origin address. Nobody. Do you understand what all the early hexagons had to go through? They literally were getting Elio Trades, Altcoin Brothers, Crypto Zaras, Chris Black. Literally every single person in cryptocurrency industry was pointing at the hexagons and saying, watch out. The dude in the top hat, Ricardo Corazon, owns all the coins on chain and he's going to sell it all on you. Get out now before it's too late. And if you did, you would have missed out on another 200x. Because by the time they realized what was going on, it was 2020. But actually, they said it from the start. You actually missed out on 1000x. Okay, so if you listened to them like, oh, I better sell before the person who I think is going to sell does it, you were wrong. He didn't. It's kind of funny. You take it for granted now. You go, oh, it's an origin address. Of course it won't sell. Sit down, bro. You got 5 years of knowledge now. You didn't have that back then. You had 5 weeks. You didn't even have 1 year. You had no idea what it was going to do on the big payday. You had no idea. This is the pWBTC to pDAI ratio. There's a lot of extreme volatility at the top of its ranges, which I think it is right now. None of this is financial advice. You're listening to a man who has a helicopter hat and has the mind of a 13-year-old and pegs his own nipples on the internet, okay? None of this is financial advice. But I think this is still high for the range, okay? Look, I just with the liquidity has been really thinned out with pDAI. So I think to get down here, remember, friends, for a spread to go down, 2 things can happen, right? Well, actually, there's multiple things, but for it to go down there, you just wake up tomorrow, someone sold purple Bitcoin 70% by itself. You go, oh, that's it. That's one way for this to happen. Purple Bitcoin just drops 70%. That's pWBTC, okay? Remember, there's only 150,000 of them, not 21 million. And Richard's got about 1/3 of it, at least, okay? So that's another big advantage. Oh, sorry, rumored Richard. I don't know. May or may not. Didn't come and tell me. Blah, 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 blah. Go read all the freaking legal stuff out here, friends. I don't have time to do that. All right, I've taken the bet. Now, one way is pWBTC. Let's just write that down. Okay, so path A, pWBTC dumps minus 7%. pDAI stays at 0%. No gain. Okay, that's one way. But there is path B to get there. pWBTC rallies 5x. pDAI rallies 25x. Okay, let's say 20x. Let's make it 20x, friends. Let's not be racist here. That's, see, path B. So what we always hope when we're in spreads Like, you never know what you're going to get. That's why when you trade spreads, that's actually how I started day trading, friends. I was not profitable outright. I was profitable in spreads because with spreads, their volatility is less. So you don't have to guess where the thing's going, where the outrights are going. You just got to guess that, oh, the spread's high. Somehow they figured each other out, right? So path B, if pWBTC rallies 5x and pDAI rallies 20x, this thing will drop down, bang, 80% over time. So that's it. So this ratio goes, so pretty much in this ratio, right, pDAI is rallying so hard, pWBTC is trying to catch up, it just can't catch up. But it goes up 5x. So in a very family-friendly way, what I'll show you, just let's say that actually happened, okay? That would be from today, a 400% move up for people's Bitcoin. That would be pWBTC goes to $2,000, all right? That would be one way. And then, so if pWBTC is $2,000, where would pDAI be? And I've got that right here. Here we go, right here. Okay, we have to do 20x, friends. So 20x is 1,900%. There you go. It would be, there you go, 3 cents. So it would be 3 cents. That would actually bring the ratio back down. Okay. So you get it now? So you don't know how it's going to come back. Remember, you could get path A. We could literally just wake up tomorrow. Someone sold purple Bitcoin down 70%, 80%. You go, oh, the ratio came back. pDAI held. This thing just dumped. So you don't know what's going to happen. You know, one goes up, one goes down. Remember, it's the same thing with like ETH-BTC and stuff like here. Now, where to from here? Always love this part because you never know. pDAI and everything else, friends, they're all a function of Pulse, right? Pulse hasn't moved, okay? We have not even started, okay? So the real move will be when we're here. That's it. That's the Pulse ETH ratio, friends. And even to show you how high this was on the actual launch, man. So basically, to get back to the launch price, because remember, actually, it's funny, right here, Ethereum was around 1900, I think, where it is, you know, kind of now. So Pulse has to rally about 10x. So Pulse has to go to about 3.4x SAC price without Ethereum moving, and then we get back the launch ratio high. Is that going to happen? No, maybe not. Maybe Ethereum doubles, which means you don't have to rally like 10x. You got to rally now 20. Do you see now how as Ethereum goes higher, the hurdle rate goes higher, but there's also unlocks bigger potential on your USD price. That's why Ethereum plays a big role. It does as well. Actually, acts as leverage for everybody. So as we move into the month of June, friends, remember, so we got to finish that month of Marwai. We're in the month of July. Remember, this is a classical WankOff where you have the final skits out, a manipulator sends it down. Could have been Richard, friends. I'll be honest, it could have been Richard. It literally could have been Richard. We had the Vietnamese kid. He's like, you know what? Here's the thing, friends. Okay, you got to understand. Okay, I've never heard any of this. I'm making everything up. Okay, I'm just telling you now. Richard sees a group of people. He doesn't see like little Tommy, or in my Telegram, we have John 12, not to be confused with John 11. Who else is in my Telegram? Mr. Wu Quintus. We've got Shardy. We have Mr. Pete with P-E-E-T. I like that, Pete. Actually, that's very unique. P-E-E-T. Okay, see? So he doesn't see individuals. He sees a group of people. He's like, oh, future sell pressure on me. Or current sell pressure. That's what he sees. And he looks at other people who haven't bought. He goes, oh, future buy pressure. Now, future sell pressure. What are you guys doing? That's what he sees, okay? So if you were a mastermind of the universe, it would be advantageous for you to think, hey, you know what? These guys have a rate that they constantly dump. If I think we're going to be bearish for the next 3 to 4 months, maybe I take the liquidity first. Because if I sell, the weak hands, they don't get to sell at like, you know, at say 1x SAC price of Pulse. They got to sell 75% below SAC price. Which means if they need, say, $10,000 of money, when you're selling down there, you have to sell 4 times as many coins to get it. That's how he's thinking. He goes, oh, these people are going to need 10 grand or 100 grand worth of money. Okay, he's got to sell 4 times as many coins. I took the liquidity first. So when it comes down, he gets rid of the coins. Now, there's no right for everybody to complain because you're like, hey, aren't you a long-term believer and holder? You're not meant to be trading this stuff anyway. This is literally, you should be indifferent to this. But I know it's easier said than done. Why? Because there's no roadmap. Because we don't know what's going on and we just got to make this stuff up in our head. I get it. But I'm just telling you, if you were mastermind of this universe, that's how you'd be thinking, okay? It really is a game of chess, friends. Multi-dimensional chess. I hope I've opened your mind to that, okay? These answers you will never find out. You never know. It doesn't really matter either, okay? So in this game, friends, you see it. We had the WankOff spring. I think we're really ready to go up. And then we'll see. It honestly, you know what? It comes down to Meth. It really does come down to Meth. Where are you going to stop, Methy Boo? We need you to crack $5,000. The good thing is, though, isn't it nice, friends? Man, we haven't even gotten started, bro. We haven't even gotten started. Look at that. Friends, just remember, at pDAI, 1 cent, every single person is changing their avatar. To this, we have the picture, right? This is going to be it. Okay. Friends, no one's ever done this before, by the way. The universe came to me in the midst of that shit. No one has ever seen a cult within a cult take such a contrarian bet that if the price reaches somewhere, all the KOLs and all the community on the chain has to change their avatar to basically promote the whole freaking chain. It's the biggest conversation starter. Okay? Ivan, friends, we're going to yell at it. No, you got to do it. You got to do it. We told you to buy low. You fudded it the whole time. You're changing it now. What, you're too good for a 15x? And who says it's stopping here? You know what the target is. Okay, so, by the way, it's exactly 666x away to $1 if it gets there, by the way. No financial advice, no crying in the casino, could go to zero, okay? Kind of did as well. Already kind of did go to zero, as I said to you. Now, remember, that would be, friends, it's pinnacle marketing, okay? What a freaking conversations piece starter. Would you not be curious? You're like, why am I seeing 100 people with the same freaking avatar on Twitter? And you click on the avatar and you will see, so we're going to have another one. It's going to say pDAI to $1. You're like, bro, what are these? What are these pegs? What is this? Inquiring, you know? And that's why, what's going to happen? It'll be when pDAI hits 1 cent. And so then it's funny, okay? You know how it took you like, 18 years to learn what's going on with pDAI in the back? Yeah, friends, I'll tell you right now. You want to see how fast people learn? You put the biggest, fattest, soy-free beeswax candle in their face from here and you go, hey dum-dum, do you remember when everybody told you to sell this thing? It literally went up in a straight line 3,700%. That's a 38x if you took the other side of some Jeets and some soy boy scum. And they'll be like, oh. Then they'll say, it's going to $1. It's going to $1. That's what happens. That's what happens every single time. So we're waiting though. We're waiting. We're going to stay reserved, play with our helicopter hats, play with our Game Boys. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.